Hey, so this is my child development project that I did. I'm going to be telling you a little bit about myself and me throughout the years and what I did as a first to 3 years, early childhood, middle childhood, and then adolescent. So within my first 3 years, I was a healthy baby until I was about 6 months old when I got pneumonia. After that, I was a pretty healthy child. And physical development, I was a rather small child whenever I was born. I was 6 pounds 13 ounces, which I was the smallest baby that my mom had. All of the other, all of my other siblings, I have two brothers and one sister. They were all around 8 pounds, so I was the smallest one that she had. My cognitive development, my sister said that I was actually a very smart child. I was a quick learner and my milestones were met a lot quicker than the marks where other children usually meet theirs. So I was crawling before I was supposed to, walking before I was supposed to, talking before I was supposed to. Um, I was also a very dependent child on my father, dependent on my father. I was super needy for him. I was a daddy's girl. So I was also independent whenever I wanted to be. Whenever I was 3 years old, I potty trained myself, my mom said, because I didn't like wearing diapers, that I learned how to use the bathroom by myself. And my parents were always really proud of that because my siblings were not easy to potty train. So whenever I potty trained myself, especially being the last child, she was very surprised and very happy about that. My early childhood, I was not a super healthy child. I was one of the smaller children in our class. As you see over here in this picture, I'm about 3 or 4 years old, and um, I was one of the smaller ones in the group. I used to get a lot of ear infections when I was a child, and also I used to get strep a lot. So whenever I was a kid, I wasn't super healthy. I was always back and forth at the doctor's office. My cognitive development, I was an average learner in school. I was put in gifted classes as a child for students with advanced learning skills. I remember in second grade, whenever I would take the gifted classes test and I passed them, so I was able to do gifted classes, which gifted classes at our elementary school where you would go to this class at least once a week and learn things that you don't usually learn in the classes. So it set me up for higher education on throughout school. I went to a school in Montgomery. It was called Dalreda, and they had us on an advanced track. So we would learn skills and lessons that were actually a grade above what we were actually supposed to be learning. My psychosocial development as a child, I was definitely a dependent child. I did not like to go spend the night with my friends like most kids did. Whenever they were kids, I usually had my friends come over to the house because I like to be close to my mom. It mainly stemmed from whenever I was a little kid. I remember we were at a soccer tournament for my brothers and I was on the elevator and my brothers got off the elevator and I didn't, and they had to go on each floor and try to find me, and when they finally found me, I was 2 or 3 floors up. So I was really dependent on my parents. I was scared to be away from them, mainly because of that incident. I was always attached to my mother's hip and I would sleep with her nightly. So every single night I would sleep with my mom because I was too scared to sleep by myself. In my middle childhood days, I didn't get as sick as much. I was healthy in middle school, healthy as I got a little bit older and I started playing soccer throughout my childhood to my teenage years. Once I started playing soccer, I didn't really get as sick as much. And my cognitive development as a middle childhood, I had an average development into my middle childhood. I didn't advance as fast as my fellow peers. in middle school, I tested into a higher grade or a higher math class than my peers. I think that was the only thing that I really remember during this time that I did better than most of my classmates, which was really weird because I didn't really like math that much. My psychosocial development, I was a shy child and did not like to be far from my parents. Like I said in the previous slide, I was really dependent on my parents and I didn't really like to be far away from them. So if it was going to see friends and spend the night off with somewhere, I didn't really like to do that. I'd much rather my friends come see me and spend the night at my house. My adolescent years, I was a healthy teenager and played soccer in high school. I tried to be involved in a lot of physical activities. So, volleyball, I would play that because we had to take an athletics class if we were in soccer or any outside extracurricular activity. We always had to do an athletics class. So, I would try to be involved in volleyball. Some of the guys used to go outside and play football, and I would try to do that too. I used to practice soccer during school. We would have soccer. We would run the track and stuff like that. So I always try to be super involved with that. I was in advanced classes in high school and I graduated with more credits than I needed. So whenever I was in high school, I graduated with, I think you have to graduate with 24 science credits, and I graduated with 25 because I took an extra science class my senior year so that I could do criminal justice in college. We offered a criminal justice class at our high school, and I took that my senior year. So I was more of an advanced student in high school because I wanted to learn as much as I possibly could because I wanted to be in the FBI. Turns out I actually wanted to be a teacher instead. My psychosocial development in high school, I was a super social person. Over to the right are some of my really good friends, and we're still really good friends to this day. This was the group of girls that I hung out with almost every single day. I did have a lot of other friends, though, that I would hang out with during school, after school. I was friends with a lot of different people because I feel like if you are friends with a lot of different people, then you can develop your beliefs and learn more about yourself than just having a small group of friends. Especially in a small town, it's hard to have a bunch of different friends, but with my high school being as small as it was, whenever we would have a death or something, it all made us closer, so it was easy to make friends that weren't necessarily in your group of friends. I think all throughout my life, with all the struggles I've gone through and everything, it has really changed me as a person, not even just because of my physical development and health, because I was always one of the shorter kids and always not one of the healthiest kids in class, but also my cognitive and my psychosocial development. They all helped me become who I am in college and have helped me get as far as I am, and they will continue to help me throughout my life. And it will also help me whenever I become a teacher and I see other kids that are struggling. I'll play this back and remember where I started from and who I've become today. So this project has just taught me a lot about who I was and where I'm going and how well the people in my life have influenced who I am, and kind of my coach in high school made me a healthier person so I didn't have as many health problems as I did when I was a kid and I wasn't playing soccer. So this is me and this is my life. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening.